Hi everyone, and welcome back to Turnabout podcast. I am your co-host, and I am senile.
You are?
I most definitely am, bestie. What about you?
Is it like your name or your state of being currently? Or both?
It is definitely a unique intro, but it doesn't top last week's.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be a state as well. I'll be Arizona.
I didn't say a state. What did you hear?
I heard what you said, but it is a state of being. So I'll use that term state loosely and be a state.
I was like, what state did she hear?
The wonderful state of senility.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. And
So,
welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to Turnabout podcast. A few stuff I wanted to get out of the way is that, firstly, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Spoilery of the alerts. And
Yes.
secondly, I'm glad we agree on that statement, that it's a spoiler alert.
It's a bold one, but it had to be said.
Are you Eric Andre?
I've been watching Eric Andre non-stop this week. I'm not joking. Non-stop. Me and a friend has been we've been sending videos back and forth every day. And I've gone on his loophole. It's the Eric Andre show is the best thing ever created. It's so funny.
As you can see, the telepathy has already begun.
Yeah. I've been watching it all week. But I actually found out that they deleted my favorite skit, so I'm very sad.
Aww.
I'm doing a thumbs down.
So yeah, the other thing I wanted to tell is that I wanted to apologize in advance because if you can hear honks, an ambulance, any type of sirens, traffic, or in general just drunk British people, it's because I am back in my apartment.
Yes. Trigger warning, British people might be heard.
It's also a Friday night. I live above a club, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully this is the final week we're going to be recording separately. But for now, I apologize for any voice disruption you will hear while we're recording. I'll try to edit it out as much as I can, but you know.
What? Hello?
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. This is a nightmare.
Can you hear me?
No. No, I cannot. Hello?
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I cannot hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Finally!
Dua Lipa saying we're back and then the live ends.
Yes. That is indeed us. That is exactly what went down. I think I didn't close off my audio or anything. I think what you're gonna hear was so funny. It was just me slowly losing my mind and just being just so upset.
Alright, we're back on. Hopefully this will...
So,
Okay, so
you were talking.
what did we say? And welcome back.
we're talking about spoilers, Eric Andre. It was so far a great start.
Okay, we can just keep this in, and I'll add
Yeah.
a little disclaimer that everything went amok
Yeah,
while we were
I
gone.
like that
And
beginning. Maybe,
I'll also
you know,
play the Dua Lipa going live, and
Yeah.
then the live ends.
it was really, really funny at least. But yeah,
And welcome back to Turnabout Podcast, everyone.
yes,
Hope you all are well.
yes.
And today, as promised,
That's actually really nice. Yeah, I hope you guys are all well. I
and we
like
sure
that.
do.
And if you're not, tell us why in the comments and we'll help you.
Yes, leave us. Tell us what's been bothering you.
Yes. For on our 100th episode, we'll like set up a hotline and just have people calling in, talking to us about their problems, and just helping them. Tell us.
1,000,000%.
Yes. Second 1,000,000% of the episode. More to come.
So, today, as we've discussed and as promised, we are doing. Well, how should we even
episode.
How should we even title this episode?
I wrote down on my notebook the non-witness episode.
But that doesn't even apply to all of them. So basically, it's people who don't take a stand during the case.
Yeah. Non-witness. Unwitnessy people. First of all, I would like to praise us for finally keeping our promises. I feel like last season, every time we said we're going to do something, a tree would fall onto us, a cat would attack us in the street, something would just derail. But this, so far, so good for this season. We've been
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do the featured artist before we start?
Absolutely. Before that fantastic episode, I was gonna say title, but like subject, we have to review actual art. This week is gonna be Ricardia. Sorry, I had a mind fart. ricadiazarts on Instagram.
Yes.
She's an artist, and she amazingly agreed to let us feature art. She was so nice in the message. Like usually I just tell you, oh, that person said yes, but I was like, oh my god, she was so nice. I was really, really happy.
While we were preparing the work for this episode today, I was like looking at the art because we usually exchange the art beforehand and we choose our favorites. But I was thinking, I don't want to have a Kanye Taylor Swift moment. And I know we've both had shitty weeks this week and I don't want to overshadow you. But if you'd let me spearhead this one, because there's so many stuff I want to discuss.
Yes.
I think
go ahead.
Rika, if you're listening, you're my favorite artist we featured.
Aww.
And to those of you listening, you may or may not have gathered by this point that Lucie is the one who reaches out to the artist weekly and lets them know that we're going to be using their work. But I wish, honestly, that I was in touch with Rika because you can tell this is someone who loves the series and it's evident through the work. That's
so true. I feel like this is one of the few times where I'm like, this could be 100% be featured in like an Ace Attorney booklet. Like, if you told me that this was professionally done by the Ace Attorney animators, I would believe you. Like, it just fits perfectly with the art style of the original things. Like, this reminds me of, art that you'd see in like the little things you get in the games. Like, I was so impressed. Genuinely.
There's a few stuff I want to touch on, and I'll do it quick. I mean, I can spotlight the images while I talk about it, but I'll talk about them in brief. First of all, Rika made the Maya Spirit of Justice outfit look cool, which it didn't before, and it looks amazing, like the gloves.
It
And then
does.
she made the other unthinkable thing of me liking a piece which has kids in it. It's the one with Clavier,
Yeah,
with the music. That's awesome.
that was really, really cool.
Also, Maya with short hair. Oh my
Maya
god,
with short
like
hair.
I couldn't pick a favorite. Like honestly, this is my favorite artist we featured. I love this art so
It's
much, and like
insane.
the
I
piece
feel like
with Apollo and Mia.
yeah.
Have you ever even thought of Apollo meeting Mia?
No, I haven't, but now I have. But just to go back on Maya with short hair,
Mm,
groundbreaking. Like that was, I think, the
absolutely.
first art of Rika that I saw, and I was like, oh, because I feel like this is a discussion that we've had a billion times on the podcast about like short hair in this series and how it makes female character look so interesting, like in his arms and stuff like that. I was like, oh, she looks so good.
I know.
She
She
looks
looks
so
the
good. I
best.
was so happy to see this.
The louder argument.
Yeah,
Like,
another favorite.
what the
Yeah,
hell? Poppy Edgeworth?
love it. The little two
I
dogs.
I I let you talk about your favorite because I am nodding so hard
Yeah,
over Rika's
you're
work.
gonna
Like,
you're gonna have a
thank you so much
stroke.
for agreeing to let us feature your work. We're so
Yes,
happy we could.
I loved it too. Like there are certain things that are straight out of like you should work for Ace Attorney, like
Yeah.
100%. It's so professional. It's so good. My favorite, I think, like the one that was the most jaw dropping to me was Maya with short hair. I loved it so
Yeah.
much. It really resonated with me. Um, there's certain ones where she does the styling is a bit different. Like there's one with where Phoenix and Maya are eating
Yeah.
ramen, and it's so cute and it feels so warm and you like in so like there's this really good intimacy. Like it's so good and like I loved everything. I love the latter argument one. I just like the way you can really see their personalities shine through. Like the face that Maya is making, the thumbs down from Apollo, which sent me into like Apollo would definitely dislike videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think he
Definitely.
has yeah, I think he dislikes loads of them. And it was
Incel
just like
energy.
excellent. Such a good such good art. It was just so good. And just like I love how she drew them. Just the
Mm,
style. It was definitely one of those where I was like, oh, we need to call Capcom and submit Rika's art
yeah.
immediately. Phone them
Absolutely.
at once. That was what I was thinking. So thank you, Rika, once again.
Yes.
We
Thank you so
loved it.
much.
And you were so nice. Thank you.
My favorite, honestly. Like, I don't want to dim
Excellent.
anyone's light, but this one, I mean, I remember almost. No, I remember all of them. I remember all of the artists we featured, and
Mm,
I can easily say with confidence this is my favorite one.
that's
Like, I'm
so
so
good.
happy. But
That's so
yeah,
good. It was excellent. Definitely. This was me doing a chef's kiss.
you could hear that,
Thank you.
but you could
I
not see
was
it.
afraid. Yeah. Well, you
You're
could just hear
thankful
me
because our
kiss
listeners could
something.
hear the chef's kiss.
But you could hear a kissing sound. How would they know it was a chef kissing? I needed to say that out loud.
Absolutely.
Shall we move on to the non witness, useless character?
So,
Unstand like people?
first of all, kudos to Lucy for putting in the work and finding the people who did not testify.
Yes. It was a
I
very
didn't do
fun
it.
work. I had loads of fun doing it. I had loads of fun. It kind of refreshed my memory over loads of cases, which was needed. If you're listening to the podcast for a long time, I'm gonna replay Investigation 1. I will. Eventually. I will. I've packed it in my suitcase. I will do it. Yes.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. So
we haven't included anyone who's testified or who has gone against Edgeworth in investigations or who's dead, such as Jove Justice.
Exactly.
Or
that would be
CCU.
for another episode.
Yes.
Of dead people, but not case victims.
That will be next week, hopefully.
You can tell that the themes of the episode are getting more and more specific.
We're not running out of ideas. What are you talking about?
Character designs, music, and I was like, footwear and non-witness people. And that one guy in the background. Oh yeah, let's make an entire episode about him. I love that.
Absolutely. And
we should do a footwear episode. There's loads of shoes and socks.
Bobby Fulbright.
Yeah. Footwear episode coming soon.
The shoe and sock episode. So, also people who have taken the stand in the past, but in some cases have not, are also included, such as for example Winston Payne, yeah.
Will Powers.
So absolutely. So also we have done 2 rankings this time. We have done our other ranking based on who's most relevant. And then we did 5 favorites because we just love these characters so much.
Yeah.
So for the big one, we're going to be doing reverse countdown. Basically a countdown, excuse me. So we'll be starting by 21 and going down to 1 from least to most relevant, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be going backwards so that the number 1 is the least relevant, basically the most insignificant character. So should I go first?
Yes. Number 1, uselessness.
Yes. So number 21, Pearl Fay.
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
This is pretty self-explanatory.
She is helpful. She gives you a big
She can channel Mia.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Agreed.
Number 20, Desiree Delight. She rides and does I think she brings us evidence in the second trial. She rides her bike.
She's cool. And
she's a badass. Number 19, Colias Palladino, the coupon man.
Okay. He does give us coupons.
And he lets us investigate his office.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't remember that if you forgot investigations.
I totally remember that part. What are you talking about? His office was cool. It was gold.
He's a legend, okay? Then, number 18, Gael Dune.
Yeah.
And I place him here because he gave Apollo his first case, but also, not his.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say his first kiss. And I was like, is there a part of this episode that I forgot?
What?
Okay, yeah, first case makes more sense.
That took a weird direction.
I know. I'm not against love.
New ship.
New ship dropped.
Apollo Guile dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that he gave Apollo his first case post Christoph, but I also wanted to ask you because you played it recently.
Yeah.
What's the emergency that causes him to take off his hat and reveal that he used to be a doctor himself?
It's not really an emergency. When we find out that it's Paul Maractus who died and we inform him, he reveals to us that he was a former doctor. And he's like,
Oh.
and that's kind of, he gives his backstory, and while doing so, takes off his hat.
I thought that someone was choking or having a heart attack and he saves them.
Oh, no. We just like starts questioning him about Paul Maractus, and he's like, ugh, like in these. But then we find out. So yeah, no emergency.
Okay, maybe he should be placed higher then. But number 17 then is Aura Blackquill.
Yeah.
Just because she serves the purpose of being a fucking hot baddie
Yeah.
and an
Duh.
absolute legend. Absolutely. Number 16 is the Chief.
Okay.
Because I'm sensing it last week, Situ.
A bit.
I mean, he does kind of blend in with the background. I mean, he is drawn into it.
Yeah. He doesn't have legs.
But yes, that too. But he's the kindest man. He always gives us help whenever we ask for it. Like, he's not useless. So I felt bad for putting him upwards.
Okay.
Number 15 is Regina Berry, and I split her into two. Okay. Number 15 is Regina Berry Grand Turnabout.
That's why you have
one extra.
Okay.
Because I thought, honestly, wouldn't it be unfair if we just said Regina Berry in the Grand Turnabout is the same as Regina Berry Turnabout Big Talk?
That is true.
Because in the Grand Turnabout, I'll get to the other case in a little while, but in the Grand Turnabout, she's super useful and she definitely redeemed herself. She helps us find the chisel, which was in the Croc's mouth.
Yeah. She has fully became a girl boss.
Girl boss energy, absolutely. Yeah. And Jeffree Star is nowhere to be seen.
That's true. They're not like together. Thank God.
They're like, Jeffree, you're gonna come up with the receipts and we have to be ready to forgive. I am nothing like that.
He isn't. Stop trying to put him in his position.
Number 14 is Lisa Basil.
Okay.
Because she had me scratching my head for weeks if she's a human or a robot, who knows. And she definitely helped out Phoenix and Maya with giving us info on Glen Elg. So yeah.
Yes.
Number 13 is Dr. Haughty. You are nodding.
A valuable member of society.
Absolutely. Because even though he's a creep, he gave us a bunch of info a bunch of times. So he's definitely prominent, let's say. Number 12 is Delicious Scones, and I'm assuming this is where we reach the half point.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to have difficulty defending these characters in terms of how relevant they are. Because Delicious Scones, she might have been there. But other than that, she did not serve anything else.
Agreed.
Number 11 is Will Powers. What, what can I say?
Mm.
Even in the, like, as a cameo, like, yeah. I mean, he tells us that
Can
he
I just
saw...
say something?
Yeah.
It's not that big of a spoiler, but Will Powers is 10 on my list. So I feel like we see each other.
But mine is 11.
Yeah, but it's close.
Yeah,
11,
of
10.
course. I love how you
Close.
said that's not a spoiler.
I mean, loads of people are trying to get spoilers on my rankings each week. My notebook is getting stolen on the daily. People are peeking through my phone in the subway.
No spoilers in the Turnabout podcast cinematic universe, please.
Yes. Forbidden.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Will Powers, I mean, he kind of helps in the Grand Turnabout. We are talking about him in the Grand Turnabout, right?
Of course, yeah. Does
Because
he
I think
though?
he
He's kind of
testifies
there.
in the farewell.
Oh, he does testify, yeah.
Yeah. So in the Grand, he tells us that he saw John Marsh going into that van or something or whatever. Like, he gives us some info, so kudos, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Number 10 is Viola Cadaverini.
Okay.
Now, I love me some Viola, but girl, you just sat around and cried and laughed. I don't know. Like, the head injury, really? You look like my depression. Number 9 is Plum Kitaki because I don't like being threatened. Number 8 is Winston Payne because he just sat around in the first investigation case and Edward didn't know who the fuck he was. Number 7 is Adrian Andrews because Lil Mama just sat there and watched us work and literally had the card of a fucking assassin in her hand and just didn't do anything about it.
Oh, Adrian Andrew does testify in that case. This is the for Stolen. Yeah.
Okay, but even in Stolen, like...
Yeah. The gist of her is very useless.
Why did you bring her back? Like, what kind of fan service is this? Who the fuck asked for her? Number 6 is Regina Berry Turnabout Big Top because she's a child and yeah, she did not give anything other than crying and being delusional. A delusional queen. Number 5 is Grossberg because I don't know, like, literally whenever, like, we see him, something bad happens. Like, he turns down Maya's case and then he talks about his hemorrhoids.
If I had something as cool as hemorrhoids, I would never shut up.
Trust me, please take that back.
I will not. Yeah, okay, I can kind of get that logic.
Number 4 is Ernest Amano because throughout the 36 episodes we've been on this channel, Lucy has somehow convinced me that long earlobes are extremely freaky.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just don't like him.
Yeah. Got it.
He gives me the ick.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Penny Nichols.
Of course. I thought she was going to be your number 1.
Self-explanatory.
Beige.
Yes. When I judged beige and you were wearing beige that day.
Yeah. I've never worn beige since.
Number 2 is the detention center guard.
Okay.
Because the man has seen a lot, but he has not even flinched once.
Yeah.
He just sits there.
Yeah.
Like when he speaks, his mouth does not move.
She's a blow-up doll. Confirmed.
I'm convinced that they put a cardboard there.
Yeah.
A cardboard cutout. And at number 1 is Winfred Kitaki. Because
Oh.
what is more useless than anything else on this list? Having a fucking storyline based on looking like the Godfather and then in the end just having bushy eyebrows.
Yeah. The entire purpose of this character was raising your eyebrows.
What the hell?
What the hell?
So yeah, that's my list. Is it exactly the opposite as yours?
No, it's not. There are a bit of differences, but apart from that, I agree with a lot of what you said.
Okay.
I think we have
perfect.
A similarly list.
Do you want to go ahead?
But before we move on, I just want to hear your top 5.
My top 5 favorites, we're doing it back to back?
Yeah.
Okay, so my top 5 favorites would be... Should I do it backwards again?
Sure.
At number 5 is Will Powers, because honestly, he barely made the cut, but I just love him so much. Like, he's just a lovable goof, and he's been around since the first game. He's our first defendant apart from Phoenix and Maya. Like, I love him. At number 4 is Delicious Scones, because...
Okay!
Although she's British, I love her design.
Okay.
Like, it's so cute. I don't know. She's just something so different and from such a niche case.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I'm not even that madly in love with her. Like, when what's the villain's name from that episode? Not Isaac Dever, the other one.
Yeah. He does have a name.
He does?
I can tell you that.
What is it?
Let me Google it.
I'm gonna fucking burst. I don't remember
Gustavo.
His name. Yeah, Gustavia.
Gustavia something.
It's his first name. I can't remember.
Dane Gustavia.
Dane Gustavia.
Yeah.
Dane Gustavia. Yeah. So.
Oh, and when
Dane
I googled it, the first thing that pops up is: are Isaac Dover and Dane Gustavia lovers?
New ship. Apollo, Gaildun, and then this. Might as well call it the new shipping episode.
Yes.
So when Dane Gustavia says that she's a scary woman, and we had the same thought. I was expecting her, like, her head to be like the mouth of a monster or something, like some shit like that. She's just a cute little British woman, which I'm pretty sure is an oxymoron, but still.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I really like her in terms of design as well. I mean, especially in terms of design. Number 3 is Chief.
Okay.
Especially after last week's episode, I love this man. He's the best. Very helpful. Super sympathetic. At number 2 is Lisa Basil. You know how much I like her.
Yeah. And
at number 1 is Desiree.
Perfect.
Because
I like that.
Queen behavior.
I
wanted to put Aura Blackwell and Viola somewhere on the list. I mean, Viola, she might be high in terms of irrelevance on my list, but I definitely enjoyed that case.
Viola is a motherfucking city girl.
Period.
Yeah.
What about you, bestie?
So here's my ranking from bottom to the top. Bottom is Pearls. Very helpful.
Oh, same.
Yeah. I mean, it was like obvious that she was super not useless. Then we have Grossberg. I I don't know why I had this in my head that it was so helpful, but I think he was. He did help us a lot, and I wouldn't put him under like irrelevant. And those hemorrhoid stories did scar me for life, so he wasn't useless. Then I have Desiree, Queen. We've established that. Lisa Basil, because I love her, and I think she gives us a lot of info, and she also kind of represents the whole company. Like, I immediately got whatever the fuck she was working at just by looking at her. She looked like she could work for Apple or something. Like, I just trust her with my like electronics. Then I put Dr. Hottie. Oh, I can't hear you. Wait.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, Dr. Hottie.
This list is insane.
It's very much unhinged. Yes. Dr. Hottie doesn't he has a clinic by the end where like Phoenix gets run by the car? He's at the Hottie clinic. Like, the man loves to help. So I put him on our helpful. He's saving lives.
His real name
really
isn't
him.
Hottie.
I know, but I like to I like to play along his little charade. Wouldn't it be more fun if it was actual he does gives us loads of info, so I like him. I mean, I don't because he's a perv, but yeah. Aura Blackwell, then.
Yeah.
She's helpful. Then I kind of enter meh territory with Regina Berry, Viola Cadaravini, Plum Kitaki, people who I did think added to the case but weren't that relevant to it.
Was that the order of them?
Yeah, but added to the lore and to the feel of the case, definitely. Then I have Gael Dune. He's not really that involved in the case. He just had his stand stolen. He's just kind of there and complaining. I love him, but relevancy part, yeah. Then I have Will Powers at number 10, like I've previously established. Love you, Will Powers, but you did not help a lot in that case. You were just standing there.
I am sure he's listening.
Will, I actually, Will, I love you if you're listening to this. Just let me write you a movie or something.
Can you imagine if the characters of Ace Attorney listen into the podcast? I think by all the beeping segments we've had over the past.
Yeah.
Like the shit I said I want to do to them.
All of his video, dislike them all. He would watch one accidentally, dislike it, and then dislike all of them. It would take him a long time, but he would do it. I think the bellboy would be subscribed.
Oh, the bellboy would sneak into my DMs after we.
Yeah, he would slide. He would slide in the DMs. Yeah, so that was my 10, Winston Payne. So 10 was Will Powers. Then we have Winston Payne. He was just standing there, not doing anything. Then I have Adrian Andrews. Why bring her back? I had this theory in my head when I was thinking about it. It was they didn't make her take the stand because the judge would be like, aren't you supposed to be in prison? It would blow their cover and their whole story. So yeah. Then I have Delicia Scone. She was just Then I have Penny Nichols.
Is it because
Queen.
Delicious Scone remind us of someone?
I have a reasoning for Delicious Scone, and that would be explained in one of my questions.
But is
also
it
what you
partly
said.
Because, yeah.
Then I have Chief. Look, I love Chief. Is cheap useful? Is cheap relevant? No. No. Then have guard for the same reasons, yet they're multiplied by 1,000 compared to cheap. Guard is just, as we've stated, it could be like one of those cool 3D art on the wall, and it would make no difference. Then,
Oh my god.
to show you the importance of that character, for my number 3, I wrote the dad Kitaki. The man with no name. He could have just been called Eyebrows, because that's his whole personality. Nothing else.
I'm so happy we agree on this.
I do agree. But we don't agree on number 2. My number 2 is Colias Palladino.
Of course.
Of
because
course.
you can't remember his use.
No. No, I can't. I don't. He was useless to me. So, therefore, second on my list. But first is Ernest Amano. To me, he was the most useless character. And I actually vaguely remember that case now because of the podcast. He just shows up and is like, my son is important, and leaves. The man is useless. And he has long ears.
Don't you remember that he becomes a villain by the end?
Well, kinda, but kinda not. Like, not even that interesting that he has a rebuttal. Come on. So,
True.
he was my first one. And then, for my little top 5, my number 5 was Director Hottie.
What?
You know,
What?
he's insane and a perv, but I don't know. For me, it was just like iconic, non-witnessy people. Because, like, you couldn't have him testify. He's just there. Then 4, I put Gael Dune. Duh. Amazing. I would like to taste his noodles. Like, they look good.
Is that supposed to be...
It wasn't supposed to be sexual, but as soon as I said it, I was like, oh no. Oh no, very poor choice of word. I meant like I would like to taste the food he's actually serving to customers and not anything else. Then I have Desiree, to no surprise, followed by Aura, cool person, and my number 1 is Lisa Basil. Lisa Basil is my favorite non-witness. I love her so much. I would trust her with my electronics, which says a lot. So yeah.
She'd upgrade your DS.
Oh, absolutely. She'd like find what is wrong with my phone. She would like do a very simple thing and I would be in awe of her. I would love that.
She'd upgrade your DS and then try to fuck it.
Yeah. She would give him a name. Have you seen the film Lucy? No, Her?
No.
It's about
Phoenix, all right.
Yeah, it's about Lisa Basil.
Isn't like Scarlett Johansson the voice of the phone?
Yes, exactly. That's why I said Lucy, because I was like Scarlett Johansson-y, like big brain vibes. Two similar movies.
1,000,000%.
Yes. So that was my ranking.
Very chaotic. I don't know if you can hear chaotic. I don't know if you can hear my fridge going on here because it's a little fridge moment. But
you go fridge.
I hope it doesn't blend in with my snickering and my laughing, because I've been laughing throughout your list. It's unhinged.
I mean, it spoke from the heart. I also did it not fully, like I was in the subway when I did it, so that might have been the reason for the unhingedness. I was just soaking up all the energy near me.
Lucie's list, you're unhinged. I'm unhinged, darling.
Hinge, darling. Shall we move on to the questions?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Should I go first?
Sure, go ahead.
And if we have the same one,
We'll be able to face that difficulty.
number 1. And I said, obviously, who would you like to see testify?
Oh,
Okay, the way you
Okay,
was
I don't
you were
have
looking
that
at
one.
me, I was
I don't
ready
have
to
that
end
one.
call, end recording.
No. I don't have that one actually. Very easy. Director Hottie.
What?
I
Can you
think it would be
imagine
very funny.
chaotic
I can't even
energy?
imagine what it looked like. I want him to be confronted to some prosecutors. I want him
I
to be
mean,
whipped.
I imagine it going I imagine it being something similar to Yanni Yogi.
Yeah. Like, I want him to not be pervy. He'd be such a funny character apart from the perviness. I feel like it could be a really fun interaction.
Yeah, I can see that.
What about you?
Mine would probably have to be Lisa Basil.
Lisa Basil
Because,
would
like,
be
for
so
obvious
good.
reasons. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like, the judge, like, her giving out codes to the judge trying to figure out if she's a robot or not.
Absolutely. I feel like the judge would start explaining what is wrong with his cell phone, and she'd be like, oh, you need to do this. It would be great interaction with the judge. Very true.
Yeah.
So my first question is something that I thought about a lot while making that list, and was there a non-witness you could have sworn testified?
Oh. Wait, I do have an answer for this. I actually have 2 answers for this. I could have sworn both Viola and Aura had testified.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I thought Viola, like, because the connection to the Cadaverinis does come up in the trial. And Aura, I remember the hostage takeover, her being present at the court. What about you?
I did remember that Viola didn't testify, but I could have sworn that Aura did. And Regina. I was like, Regina was such a big player in Big Top, of course she testified. But she didn't. Yeah. But yeah, Aura I could have sworn.
Me too, really shocked. That's the most prominent one. So, my second question, Bestie Sock, is characters such as Desiree, Lisa Basil, and Gail Dune are amongst our favorites. Do you think them not testifying retains mystique, or do you think every character should testify at least once in their respective cases?
That is so funny, because that was almost one of my questions. I almost put that one. It wasn't phrased the same way. It was like, why do you think we love those characters so much, even though they don't testify? But I didn't put it. Wow. So I actually had kind of an answer planned. And I was thinking, for me, it's really a testament to good character design. Like, as long as you make your character visually memorable, players are going to remember it and appreciate it. Like, I love all of their design, and I wasn't I think before doing the podcast, I wasn't that like aware that design had such a big impact on games, and it does. Like those are some amazing outfits, clothes, design altogether. But for your questions, I think that in a way, because usually, I mean, not all the time, but when he does go against certain witness on the stand, it kind of breaks them a little. You know, there's often breakdowns. It makes the relationship with the lawyer and the witness tense. And I feel like it's really good to have those non-witness character who remain chill, who remain kind of unbothered. Like, if we had to, like, find the flaw in Desiree's testimony and she would have, like, to get more mad, I don't know if we would have liked her as much as we did. Like, those characters remain kind of Switzerland and you don't go against them. So I feel like they retain their friendly neighborhood vibe of character. And I think it makes for some very chill and great people. What do
I
you
actually
think?
haven't thought of that because when someone is testifying and we pick it apart, we
Mm,
usually tend to like take them to the level of them like literally
yeah.
having a meltdown.
We
So
reveal their
definitely would
secrets.
destroy, yeah, and it like destroys some of the images I have of these characters. For
Mm.
example, Desiree. But at the same time, I would like to see like Lisa Basil having wires pop out of her. Like it'd be nice.
True.
But I do agree that like I don't want to see every character testify. I think it does retain a mystique
Yeah.
to some of the characters, and I think you're right. It is a testament to like how good character design, obviously, but also in general, just writing a character is because
Yeah.
like it's they're just side characters.
Agreed.
They don't take the stand to give us
Mm.
more info or like even like the sprite, the movements, like they're not really developed, but at the same time, we love them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I really agree.
What's your next question, Bestie Sock?
It is, out of all of them, who has the biggest villain energy?
Oh, hmm.
Do you need a minute?
What did you say?
For me, it's Delicia Scone.
Oh my god. What
As I
the
was
hell?
playing that case, I was convinced it was her. And I was like, oh, I have cracked the case. This is I don't know why I'm doing this accent. But I was like, oh my god, I've cracked the case. Like it's her. She's so like irrelevant and you know, she seems all nice, but there's gonna be something lying underneath all of that, and she's gonna be the murderer. And I was so excited, and then nothing happened. Hence why she was so far up on my list. Like I was just like, I was rooting for you, Delicia. We're all rooting for you to be the murderer, and she didn't. And I don't know why. I thought she had like the best villain vibe. She could have been such a good villain. I really
She
wanted to
could,
see that
yeah.
happen, and I was so convinced it was her. I was just like, haha. I know it's gonna happen. I was so proud of myself, and then nothing happened. So yeah,
The
Delicia's going for me.
anti the anti-British rhetoric
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
exquisite
Yeah.
this evening. I actually have two answers.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, like I'd say Aura Blackwell.
Ooh, yeah.
Like it's very baddie energy. Like she's
Mm,
such a
mm, mm, mm,
villainess.
mm.
Like her even taking hostages. I mean, come on. Like
Badass.
we love a badass queen.
Mm, mm, mm,
And
mm.
the second one, which is much more dark, is the detention center guard. It must take a very high level of evil and cruelty for you to sit and watch people cry and not even flinch.
Hmm.
Like seeing people talk about getting the electric chair and you just sitting there watching
making
the window.
an excellent point, and I hadn't thought about that. But
He
it's true.
is an animal.
He is. And also, he could be such a good villain. Like, he has access to, like, police. He could destroy evidence. Who would suspect him? He's just in the background.
Absolutely. Like, he's like, forget Patricia Rowland being the warden. This is like next level. This is like, how well do you blend into the background? He's literally the background.
Yes. He's like Dexter.
Absolutely. Dexter. Great. So, my third question is, from witnesses who have taken the stand, who would you like to see be demoted to simply a witness without a testimony?
That's one of my fucking questions.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
The anger in my voice. My question was, out of the witness list, basically the rest of the cast, is there a character who gives you big non-witness energy? Useless, irrelevant. I'm proper fuming, love.
Very British theme today.
I do have an answer. Mine
Let
was...
me pull up the ranking, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me yours.
Mine was Sparks Brussels.
Oh,
I totally forgot he testified. He gives me big non-witness energy.
Oh, I might have to go with that because, okay, it might take some time for me to find my answer, but come on, that's like a really excellent answer. I mean, what the fuck?
He is the epitome of non-witness.
Yeah. Oh my god. Honestly, it's either him or Miriam Scuttlebutt, the box girl.
Ooh, I totally forgot it. Yeah, 100%.
Because that's when we see her face.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it might not be at the degree which yours is, but
no, you're right. Definitely. Because I was like, oh, out of like from that case, everybody testifies. But when I looked it up, I was like, oh, Miriam is gonna be the one who's like a non-witness, and she wasn't. I was real surprised. Yeah,
she was not. Oh, and I had someone else in mind, but that was a complete brain fart. I went, oh, and then I forgot. No, forget about it.
Okay.
I forgot.
If it comes back to...
Oh! Do defendants count?
Sure.
I would have said also La Mirror.
Oh. Yeah. She's so mysterious.
I mean, I definitely rather have her not testify rather than have her testify, and each time we discover that she's either deaf or blind or she can't walk or like some shit.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It might not be the same as the other two, but definitely her as well.
Absolutely.
Like I can see her being a background person.
True. Very true.
So what is your next question, bestie Sock?
My next question is, would you rather be a witness or a non-witness?
I definitely... Wait, like, you mean testify or not witness the murder?
No. Testify or not testify. You've involved in the case, but you're not the killer. Do you want to testify or not testify?
I would want to testify. Like, imagine the possibilities. And
Yeah.
there's not even in the Ace Attorney world, there isn't even the shred of possibility of getting arrested if you witness the murder. It's
Yeah.
either the good guy or the bad guy. Like there's no
Uh,
in between. So I'd be I'd go say my version of stuff, be as wacky as I am on the podcast and get away with it. I just in the end of the day, I'd have so much fun.
mm.
What about you?
So at first I was like, oh, non-witness. Like, wait. Yeah. Non-witness, as in not that I didn't witness it, as in like I don't testify for sure, because I was like, you're just chill. You get to talk to everybody, but you don't have to like be in like harassed by some lawyer being like, there's a flaw in your testimony. You said 9 p.m. It was 9 a.m. So I would appreciate that kind of peace. I'm also a very stressed individual. I would throw up the morning of the trial, having anxiety about like what if they
Yeah.
frame me for murder. But then I was like, all of the fun happens in court, and I would miss out on like seeing the prosecutor, the judge, finding out who the real killer is in real life as it is happening. So I would appreciate being like one of the first witness at the beginning of a case who kind of just lays it out all. So I think I would have to go testify.
Absolutely. Also, how come we had the the that one question in common of who you'd like to have not testified, but you didn't ask who you'd like of these to testify?
No clue. Yeah,
I thought it
didn't
was
think of that one.
the most likely to have in common.
Yeah, no, I didn't have it. I did not.
Okay. So, you have one left.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, my penultimate question, Bestie Sock, is in which case would you like to see more characters such as these?
That's a good question, but I have to think about it. So please
Okay.
tell me your answer.
I wrote my answer down, and I said that sometimes when the cast in an episode is small, the killer is obvious, and I would like to see more of these characters thrown in there in the mix. So I think that's a major issue in cases such as the Monstrous and Sisters, because when even the
Yeah.
bellboy testifies,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I love the bellboy, but that's major background character.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
especially the Monstrous, I think like making such a character out of Jinx and
Yeah.
the defendant, like it didn't work out. And then the other characters were just the villain and fucking Phineas Filch with the lively people music.
Yeah.
So no.
Bad memories.
Yes. Worst
Agreed.
case.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The first thing that came into my mind was the academic Turnabout Academia, or something like that.
Turnabout
Because
Academy.
Turnabout Academy.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't know, it was such a big school. I think we could have such a bigger cast. There was loads of people, but they all testified. It felt a bit crowded. I don't know. I would have liked to see more people. Maybe a
Yeah.
janitor. Maybe a school lunch lady, a lunch lady. I don't know. More fun people.
And Miriam Scuttle, but not testifying.
Yeah, leave her alone.
Poor Miriam. So what is your last question? Then?
Yeah, mine was very similar to this one actually, but phrased differently, of course. But one was, do you like trials where every single character is utilized, or a bigger cast featuring some useless one?
Wait, again?
Do you like trials or cases where every single character is used, or a bigger cast featuring some useless one? Which you kind of
Definitely the second
answered.
one.
Yeah, agreed. And for the exact same reason that you've stated. And I think about that a lot in Poirot's episode. I'm a
Mm.
big fan of Poirot, and it's like when there's 3 people, you have you have big chances of finding out who the person is, who the killer is. It takes out all of the fun of guessing, and I completely agree with you. When you have bigger and kookier casts, it makes it more fun, and the killer is like a big surprise, a big reveal.
But also definitely like the Ace Attorney series is like, yeah, it's murder mystery, but it's not like known for its
Mm,
like for example like Detective Conan, which like had, as you've described to me,
mm,
like interesting murder plots. It's more about the characters, and it's nice when you have like smaller roles because that's life. Like, of course, you
exactly.
track down like the boss of the like victim, Glen Elk, and it turns out to be this kooky computer lady who is Lisa Basil. Like, but
Yeah,
she doesn't have to testify. So
absolutely.
it's nicer when you have smaller roles. It's like it's the story of the people.
And not everybody is essential to a murder case. Like, I love
Yeah.
that, oh, that one purpose of that person was seeing a shoe there and telling you about it, and then it's gonna unlock the whole case. Like, yeah, it's really good.
And it's weird because when I ask you which case should have a bigger cast, I didn't really think of Turnabout Corner because we have 2 people on the list who have not testified. It's the Kitaki parents. But at the
Mm,
same time, when you base it in a city the same way you do with Recipe, then why didn't we see more people?
yeah, true.
Isn't it?
Very true. And especially in environments where it's like, oh, you should have more people. Why are we only seeing 3 people? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
What was
frustrating.
your answer for which one should have their testimony taken away?
Sparks Brushel.
Okay, because I could have sworn while I was talking about Corner, I remembered about Wesley Stickler, the Panty Raider. He
Oh,
he he gives major not testifier
yeah,
as well.
kinda. But it was a fun secret to unfold.
Yeah,
Discovering that he is who he is was a pretty
but
satisfying thing.
the reason I said it was because I specifically remember it was before coronavirus happened,
Yeah,
and I was in our flat kitchen from year
yeah.
one, and I was playing Apollo Justice, and you had complained about the game so much, and I was like, okay, this is like, it's kind of turning out to be how Lucy said, and it's also
Ha.
brown, so
Yeah.
yeah. And the first testimony comes, and I was like, who is this? Like, this isn't
Who's this
Walkie-Talkie.
man? Yeah.
So I was like, who the hell is this? He wasn't even in the investigation.
Mm.
So
He
yeah.
just popped up, but then you find out who he
No
is.
explanation, no anything.
True.
So, to cap it all off, this extremely short episode, by the way,
You have a final question, right?
I do have a final question, but
Mm.
I'm just pointing out that it's a short
Yeah, yeah,
episode.
true.
I
It
mean,
is
even if
very
I
short.
remove the the
It'll
technical
probably be our
difficulties,
shortest episode ever.
yeah,
But I do like shorter episodes. I feel like they're more digestible. But let us know in the comments, what do you like more?
yes, friends and enemies group together and comment.
Friends and foes. Shilong Long and Apollo, if you're listening. But
So,
yeah.
my final question, Bestie Sock, is fuck, marry, kill this list.
Oh,
We haven't done this in a while.
we haven't. This is the side of. I think I'd killed Ernest Amano.
Oh my god.
And steal his
This woman's
money.
hate for this man
I don't like
is
earlobes. They freak me out. It's the number one thing I look for in a mate. Nice earlobes. I would fuck Will Powers because he's Will Powers. No, you know what? I will marry Will Powers. He's just such a cutie pie. He would be so sweet. I feel like we could be a power couple, a dynamic duo. And I would have a torrid love affair with the guard. I just in the witness box.
Oh,
that's what I want to do.
God.
Yes.
Okay. It's funny you said Will Powers because I would marry Will Powers as well.
We could be a couple.
So, no, I don't think so. I'd get too defensive, and at night,
you're not
I'd
a
want him all to myself, so I could.
You
lick
can
his
have him
sweat.
at night. I don't wanna. We'll do separate rooms.
I want him all to my own, so I could lick his. This is throwing it back to one of our first episodes. I think this was the first bleeping moment ever. Me saying that I want to lick his and you saying lick his what? And me saying lick his and you're like his like
I was so shocked. I couldn't even fathom what you had said. It was really unthinkable. His what?
Absolutely. Then I would fuck Desiree. Because, of course. And I don't know. I don't hate any of them to kill them. But maybe if I had to kill someone, I don't know. I could easily say one of the kids, either Regina Berry or Pearl Faye.
I thought it was gonna be Pin Nichols.
No, she's like, she didn't do anything. Like, she doesn't deserve death. She's just too irrelevant. Maybe, you know what? I'd go for Ernest Amano as well, because earlobes are yuck. Long earlobes especially. I don't care if in Japan it means wealth. He did become a villain after all. And, like, honestly, now that I think about it, he had us, like, track down his brat San. And, like, honestly, he didn't even reprimand him. And then we find out that his son is a murderer. And he goes out of his way to defend his murderer son. Like, come on. Give us some... Wasn't he, like, even Edgeworth's patron or something? Like, he funded Edgeworth's studies or some shit like that, which doesn't make sense with the timeline if you consider that. The fact that, I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, I'd kill him for timeline purposes as well.
So, give me the rundown.
Marry Will Powers, fuck Desire Delight, kill Ernest Armano.
We have almost the same ones. That's pretty rare. Wow.
It is.
Wow.
We have reached the end of this madness.
Yes.
Of this very brief madness.
It was... I feel like it will clear the heads of people tuning in. Like, it would just be like during an hour, and then they would, like, leave feeling rested and relaxed. A very cathartic experience.
That made absolutely no sense in my head, but I will not fight the urge to understand.
That response describes everything exactly what I was previously describing. So further my points.
So,
So, bestie,
Bestie Sock, yes. What will you be doing now?
I will now go cuddle with my cat. I'm gonna pick her up, have a little dance with her, have a little cuddle sesh, and try to not be too allergic to her. Because I am allergic. May not be the best
1,000,000%.
decision. What about you?
I think I'm gonna go pee.
Brave decision.
You know, I've been thinking about it for the past hour, so
That's actually the sole reason we made this episode so short.
yes, I
Just
can go
for
pee.
ours, yeah. Well, all right. We'll see you next week, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good
And
night or a good day.
yes, see you next week when we are hopefully going to be reunited.
Yes. A little bit of... We were supposed to be reunited tonight, but long story short,
Oh, do
life
you think
happened.
we would have recorded tonight if you came
No,
back?
we wouldn't. We wouldn't because we're supposed to record on Tuesday.
Yeah.
A bit of a sad news happened in my family, and I had to postpone my arrival back to Lancaster. But I am coming. I'm coming back stronger than ever, and very
My
different.
bones are trembling.
Yeah, you should.
My
Are you
pussy
shaking
is
your boots?
quivering.
Yeah.
Yes, my pussy
All
is
right.
shaking.
We love you guys. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.